I am not I am not even sure where to go with this video. I'm not even sure that I should be doing this video. So I just want to put out there right now that I have been bullied. I'm just telling you, I am a victim. I have been bullied into submission by some other YouTubers who said that you absolutely must cover this topic, especially with what's been going on this week. For those of you who don't know, just real quick, we had a guy for the Chicago Bulls who was talking about, from a Christian perspective, he put out a video and talking about Pride Night and why does the NBA have this and this and that. And then, of course, the Bulls waived him. Now, the NBA has a whole lot of, domestic spouse abusers, girlfriend beaters, DUI guys, and on in the league. Nothing has happened to them. And then the WNBA thought it would follow up with this. Yes, you see this correctly. Happy International. Now, I get confused because there's like a number of these days with just different wording. Happy International Transgender Day of Visibility. The WNBA thought this would be a good time to put this out there, especially after having just signed a CBA where they're going to need to expand the fan base to get a whole lot of casual fans out there. And what is crazy, and this shows you how, like, the power of the media and so forth, is this is an 80-20 ish. This is one of those 80-20 issues. Now it could be 75-25, 90-10, but you know what I mean. And it is not in their favor. But you wouldn't notice that because people are absolutely terrified to take a stand on anything like this. So we're just going to go through, just to show you what I'm talking about, kind of go through the comments on this post. Down here, we've got, stop supporting mental illness. This organization is set on self-destruction. Imagine a burly bloke dunking on their girls and the commissioner rambling on about inclusion, which is the next thing I would like to mention. By the way, well, no, we'll get into that later. But you have athletes. It is absolutely wild. You have women, supposedly. I don't say that to be mean or to make a statement. I'm just saying that it's shocking. But, like Megan Rapinoe, as soon as she retired, she is all in on men playing in women's sports. Well, that is the whole point of this. If the men did that, wouldn't it be wild, by the way? Because the same people that are crucifying him, so to speak, Jaden Ivey, if he all of a sudden came out and decided he was identifying as a woman and he wants to go play in the WNBA, those same people would have to full on embrace and celebrate Jaden Ivey. Do we think that would happen? Right? It's so wild because there's so many contradictions, no principles involved. There's no such thing as trans or non-binary. You're either male or female. No one is born in the wrong body. Nope. Trans men are women, trans women are men, no such thing as trans kids, only mentally ill and narcissistic parents. Now, to that point, I will say, and like, I'm not saying this to dunk on anyone. I'm not here to attack anyone. I'm just here to deal with a little reality with the WNBA putting something like this out there and how things have shifted. And you have people who are no longer afraid to say, hey, no, this is reality. Now, to that point with the narcissistic parents thing, I think 95% of those who identify this way seem to be the children of celebrities. Isn't that interesting? Right? Like, celebrities have multiple kids in their families, even though it's like 0.000 whatever percent of the population. Indeed. Hi, doc. I'd like to have one of my fingers removed. Clearly, you are mentally unwell. Hi, doc. I'd like to have my junk removed. You are an inspiration. They're already pretty visible. You're a bit early for April Fools. My God, men taking spots of your athletes, and you celebrate this. Absolutely demented. Women's sports can be great, but this BS turns most off, which is the point that I am here trying to make with all of this. The WNBA, there's no reason for the WNBA to do this. Like, that is why are they getting involved by putting this out there? They are not on the majority side of the issue. Now you can decide whether they're on the right side or the wrong, but they're not on the majority side of the issue. And this does nothing to help anyone. It doesn't do anything to grow the WNBA as a sports organization, because I promise you, a lot of people who are maybe on the fence, maybe they were exposed to the WNBA, they, heard about Caitlin Clark, maybe they checked out another game and they're like, hey, you know what? Let me give this a try. It seems to be moving in the right direction. I'm going to tune in. And then they get this, and again, this goes back to what I've said many times about the WNBA was never about the basketball. The basketball was an excuse to have their social events. These were social gatherings. That is what the games were. And they found a way to get the NBA to foot the bill for their social gatherings. And, now you've got people who are tired of it, and on top, right on the heels of the James Ivey stuff with the Chicago Bulls, was not the time for any of this. I really hope Jaden Ivey pulls the ultimate FU and comes back as a woman to the WNBA. Turn off the comments. Are you insane? And look, I don't even know if this person is supporting the statement from the WNBA or they're against it and mocking them, but they are correct in that this is just not the time for this. So when do men get to play in the WNBA? Listen, I fully support you always living your truth and best life as long as you're not hurting anybody. But we are just making stuff up now. This is why you get the blowback, because it's made up. Just be who you are. Let the men play in the WNBA while claiming to be women. You'd hate this. Can't wait for LeBron or KD to come out as women and play in the WNBA. It's Holy Week, you demons can F off. But y'all wouldn't let a trans woman play for you. Well, I don't know. Would they? That's what's really interesting. We haven't, as far as we know, that hasn't yet been tested with the WNBA. And by the way, to the point I'm making with the Jaden Ivey thing, which is very relevant to this, because that was him talking as a Christian about why is the NBA involved in having pride nights? Why are the teams doing that? Well, Jaden Ivey has had his jersey sell out since he got waived by the Bulls, which was yesterday? Got waived, and now I think it's something like 20,000 jerseys or something like that he sold, because normal people are absolutely sick and tired of all of this stuff. They are sick and tired of it. They don't want it. They don't want it around. They don't want to hear about it. They don't want to be browbeaten with it. They don't want to be censored because of it. They're simply tired of it. It's not April Fool's Day yet. This has to be a joke. Are you serious? Women's sports are for women, period. Women have fought so hard for their space. Keep men out of women's sports. Why is this such a hard concept? What a freaking slap in the face for the WNBA to post this. And I'll leave you with this. I talked about the principles and the contradictions and everything. Is the same people who support this are the same people who scream nonstop about the oppression of women in America, about the inequality that the women face in America, right? They're the ones who would support the WNBA on, the women should get paid the same as the men. Why aren't the women getting paid what the men get paid? And yet they would support this. Well, I hate to break it to you. If you take this to its logical or but extreme conclusion, there will be no women's sports, right? Like those say, it's the MNBA, as if that's a slur. The reason it's not the MNBA is because women can play in the NBA. There's no rule against it. There's only a rule against men playing in the WNBA because we know the reality of women and men. But you want to eliminate that. If you take that to its logical conclusion, you eliminate women in women's sports. I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully I did this very respectfully and you all aren't losing your minds, but I'm curious what you think about all this in the comments. And here's the thing, I would be respectful, right? I laid this out for you. I read the comments. I tried to be very respectful of this. I wasn't here to douse the flames, throw bombs or any of that. I really want to have a conversation. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate it. Smash the like button, subscribe. I will talk to you later.